Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back. My name is LFX. Now today guys, I'm going to be talking about something that you may not have noticed in Borderlands 2 or the Borderlands story in general, but I haven't noticed it. And it's been bugging me actually for a while, and I thought that I would actually go over it today, as I thought that now I figured out what it is and how it works and stuff. It's kind of weird. I figured out you should know it too. So today what I'm going to be talking about, as you can probably see from the title, is the Borderlands game story is kind of messed up. Now what do I mean by that? Do I mean that it's bad? Do I mean that some things are wrong in the story? No, I don't mean that it's bad or things are wrong in the story. Some things are very confusing in the story, though, I can admit. Now, I know I called the CEO of Gearbox Randy Pitchford. It's actually Andy or something, Anthony Pitchford or something. I cannot remember at all. Wait, let me just have a little look. Oh yeah, it is Randy Pitchford. Oh, sorry, Randy. Randall S. Randy Pitchford the second. Oh, cool name. Yeah, well, in the first Borderlands game, my man Randy wasn't actually a CEO, and he didn't do the script and the story for Borderlands 1. So it probably explains why some of the things in the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2 both have some things that relate to the story that are very messed up. Now what do I mean by messed up? What things are messed up in the story, if you are wondering. Now if you haven't played the first game, which most people who've played Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel haven't actually played the first game. I haven't played a lot of the first game, but I do have it, and I have played quite a bit of it. But I got stuck on one part. I can't remember what it was, and I haven't played it since then because I've been playing all on PS4 and stuff like that. So I haven't really had any. Well, I have had time to experience it. I just haven't experienced it. But I played enough to realize what is going on there. So let's start off with Borderlands 1, as it is the first game in the franchise. So the basic storyline of Borderlands 1 is that a group of 4 Vault Hunters, or as Angel refers to them, treasure hunters, arrive in Pandora. They bring along guns and loot hunting equipment. They basically want to come along and hunt the vault. They are greeted by Claptrap, who introduces them to the town of Firestone, which you can actually visit again in Borderlands 2. Now, I can safely say at this point that Jack doesn't know who they are. Handsome Jack, I mean, by the way, when I'm saying Jack. He does not know who they are. And I don't even think that Handsome Jack knows they exist at the time, because I'll get onto it in a minute, but it's it's how he acts around Lilith and Roland when he meets them in the pre-sequel that I can actually determine that he hasn't met them before. So, the Vault Hunters do the things that they need to do, help out with Nine Tones Men, and the plot continues from there. But all I really wanted to focus on was the very beginning, when they arrive in the truck. Now if you have played the first sequence of Borderlands 1, you will notice that Angel says at the very beginning of the game to start making your way off the bus. Don't be alarmed that anyone is talking to you. Okay? So, we've got that. That's all you need to know for Borderlands 1 at the moment, okay? So now on to Borderlands 2. There is an echo log which took me an hour to find until I realised what mission it was. I looked for echoes everywhere. I couldn't find it at all, and then I realised it was actually on a mission. So I'm going to let you listen to the echo now, and then I'll show you where it is.
Okay, any candidates today, Angel?
There are 4 treasure hunters who arrived on a shuttle several hours ago. They are currently on a bus to Firestone.
Great. Say this to them. Don't be alarmed. I need you to stay calm and don't let on that anyone is talking to you. Start making your way off the bus.
The bus is still moving, sir.
Shut up, tell them.
So, as you can see from that, there is some very weird things going on. Considering that, from what I can tell, Jack doesn't know who they are at that time, and Handsome Jack in Borderlands 1 wasn't Handsome Jack. Let me explain in further detail, but first I'm just going to show you where you can actually get this. echo log from if you want to listen to it or do the whole mission. It's basically all you're going to do is go to the Arid Nexus Badlands. You're going to want to go to the Firestone bounty board and accept the mission called Get to Know Jack. It will then ask you to pick up a few echo logs. You're just going to want to run near where I can't remember his name. The robot guy spawns, the really big robot guy. He spawns there. There's a garage fuel station place where there's a chest on top of where you can get an achievement from. You just go up there and it should come up with the right echo log. So that's how you get that on to the next thing. So, as I just mentioned, Jack didn't know who they were in Borderlands 1 and was not Handsome Jack. So, when it comes to the plot of Borderlands games, Borderlands 1 is the first game in the franchise. This is where the Borderlands story all starts. Then, it's the pre-sequel. As the name suggests, it's the prequel to Borderlands 2, but the sequel to Borderlands 1. Then it's Borderlands 2, which is the last story in the game, apart from a few cutscenes that happen in the pre-sequel that actually relate to after Borderlands 2. Bear in mind, a few questions were answered in those things, so yeah, it's pretty cool, but we're not focusing on those. So if you've actually played the pre-sequel, you will actually know that Jack had never met Lilith before until he meets them in the bar. He says, go talk to the guy who, I think it's allergic to happiness, and the siren or something, I think he says. But I don't think he actually says the siren, because he doesn't actually know what sirens are. At least, that's why I don't think. As I mentioned in my video where I said about the sirens being missing, I don't think Jack knew that Lilith was a siren when he first met her. He might have just been a really cool dude, or he might not have known who sirens were at all. So, as this game is after Borderlands 1, it really makes no sense that in Borderlands 2, there is an echo log of Handsome Jack, not just Jack, after he turns to Handsome Jack, talking about the Vault Hunters, who he doesn't know who they are. So you're saying that at the end of the pre-sequel, Jack turns into Handsome Jack right before Borderlands 2, and then for some random reason, at the very beginning of Borderlands 1, he becomes Handsome Jack randomly. And he also knows who Angel is. That doesn't make very much sense. Now, I will go over this again with you as the echo log is up on the screen for me. So, he says to Angel, any candidates today? And usually candidates are people who you haven't actually seen before. So, he wouldn't just say any people who we haven't seen before, or any people we have seen before. He'll say candidates. In other words, people that they're just happening to be there. And Angel says that there are 4 treasure hunters. So it's obvious she doesn't know what a Vault Hunter is. She just calls them treasure hunters. And it says they arrived on a shuttle 4 hours ago. I don't know where they came from, but it says they are currently on a bus to Firestone. And this is the most important part. It's just the fact that Handsome Jack says, great, say this to him. Don't be alarmed, I need you to stay calm and don't let on that anyone is talking to you. Start making your way off the bus. Now this is said by Angel in the first game, but we all just assumed that it was actually Angel saying it. Now in my eyes, it is just Angel saying it and Handsome Jack is not there. Unless Borderlands 1 was based after the pre-sequel, which it can't be as the pre-sequel was confirmed of being before Borderlands 2 and after Borderlands 1, it makes no sense that Handsome Jack can be Handsome Jack at the beginning of the first game, even though he is Handsome Jack at the end of the pre-sequel, which is coming up on Borderlands 2. So, I think that about wraps it up for this video, apart from a few other things, but that's the main thing, the fact that he becomes Handsome Jack before he meets a Vault Hunter, and then he becomes Handsome Jack because of her. It really doesn't make that much sense at all. Can you get where I'm coming from here? I know I would keep repeating myself, but it's in different manners. The fact that Lilith made him wear a mask as she pretty much destroyed his face, then he turned into Handsome Jack, so it wouldn't make any sense that he's Handsome Jack before he actually knows who any of them are. And as well, in Borderlands 2, just as a last thing, he says that he tricked Vault Hunters a couple of years ago in New Haven. I don't know if New Haven takes place during Borderlands 1 or it's a thing that just happens after and they just say it. But it's a bit weird that he didn't know Lilith was dead. Did he meet her before? Was this after the pre-sequel? I have no idea. But that about sums up for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to leave a like. If you're confused on anything, just leave a comment and ask, because I can see where you're coming from if you get confused by it. My man Randy isn't very good when it comes to explaining things either. Cough cough, the whole Borderlands franchise. But yeah, I recently noticed I'm so close to 150 subscribers. I absolutely love it, guys. Every single sub that I get really helps me out. So if any one of you want to be my 150th subscriber, just make sure to click that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.
Cause I got it like that, flow so smooth like I got it on tap. Yeah, and I'ma say it be a good night while I'm on my Yingling, while I'm drinking Bud Light. Can you get it when you miss me? Like I'm with whiskey, drinking gin.